for an early morning match. Oh no, no you wouldn't. You would. They were there last night. I'm not saying anything. I didn't see you, Alan.
No, I wasn't there.
You weren't there. Where were you then?
Had an early night.
Huh?
Had an early night.
Had an early night? Did you do the match this afternoon, the first one? You did? I don't remember that. I was asleep. Yeah. Oh dear, no, very professional guys. Just, you might see them in the bar, but they'll be drinking water or lemonade, something like that. Isn't that right, Dan?
Yes.
Okay, again, we're live on YouTube, this match. So, getting some good shots, Jill. Yeah, is it your knees playing now? See, we're all getting old. We're getting old and the players are getting younger. That's about right, isn't it? I'm a granddad now, did you know that? Yes, granddad. Little Daisy, she was born just nearly 7 months ago. My granddaughter, yeah, my daughter had a daughter. I know what you're thinking. Him, granddad, and he looks about 24. I know. What? Get out of it. And then my son got married, so that's my daughter, so I'm a granddad now. And then my son got married in October, and about 3 weeks after they got married, he pulled me to one side and he said, Dad, he said, you're going to become a granddad again. So it's like, you wait ages for one, and then two come at once, don't they? It's like, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm going to be a granddad. And he's having a girl. So it's the same as my daughter. And not only that, can you believe this, but that my second granddaughter is due to be born on the same day as my first. Yeah, exactly a year apart. So I don't know. They're very close, my son and daughter, and they do everything together, but I didn't think they would, no, I didn't mean that, no. that would be wrong. I mean, but they even have to time their own, they didn't do it deliberately, it just happened that way, but that's how close they are. So they're both going to have girls, and they'll both be exactly a year apart, almost to the day. Well, it might be to the day, but you can't tell these, you know, I mean, she could come early, couldn't she? And you know what, my son, if it was going to be a boy, do you know what he was going to call him? Seriously, my name's Richard Bear, B-E-A-R-E. It's Bear as in cuddly, but with an E on the end. Do you know what my son was going to call Teddy? He was, seriously. Teddy. Ready to go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this match underway. And appearing in his very first WBT event is this international bowler from Israel. And he's actually left a sickbed to be with us this evening, so we're going to wish him all the very best. As I welcome onto the ring, Motti Polak.
You're unbelievable. You're so unbelievable.
And this interior designer is one of Hong Kong's finest and most respected players, making his fourth appearance in a WBT event. Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation please for C.Y. Wong. Commentators for this match is Janice Gower. Over to you, Janice.
Thanks very much, Richard. And here we are at the Just World Indoor Bowls Championships 2018, hosted by Potters Resort, for the second and final game in the Overseas Qualifiers section, which features Hong Kong's C.Y. Wong and Israel's Motti Polak. And I'm delighted to be joined in commentary by Chris Gale. Welcome back to commentary.
Thanks, Janice. It's good to be back.
Last time it was in sunny Scotland, and now it's in sunny Hopton-on-Sea.
It is, yeah.
Now, a little bit of calculations for the viewers out there. These are round robin stages, so they've got to play 2 sets of 7 ends, and they have to complete all 7 ends because shots difference does matter, but there's no tie breaks as it's all part of a round robin. And the young man on the mat from Hong Kong, CY Wong, is in pole position at the moment. If he wins both the sets here, he goes through and he faces Mark Dawes on Tuesday evening in the main open singles first round proper. Big prize for him, Chris, if he can do it.
It is, and knowing what he needs to do in this game can be an advantage to him, but also he needs to treat it as if it's just a normal game. Goes out and plays, tries to win as you would normally do 2-0, and forget that if I do just sneak the set, then it goes on shot difference. You've got to take that out the equation, go and win 2-0, job done.
Yeah, basically it's all in his own hands, so to speak, at the moment. Sat on the sidelines will be Gerard Breen, who's just won his game 2-0. He needs CY Wong to lose a set. Now, exciting game here. Of course, the guys will have had chance to have a practice on the portable rink. They've played all the previous games on the other arena at Potters, which is the Bowler's Bar. So this is the first game out there, and it's quite good to get this game out there, Chris, before they play the main event. They'll have had the experience of playing with the crowd out there on the rink.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, if Javid gets through, he's just had the game on before this one, and if CY wins 2-0, then it's a great experience playing on the carpet before going into the main event. Come Tuesday, did you say, Janice?
Yeah, it's a Tuesday evening game at 7:30 against Blackpool Newton Hall's Mark Dawes.
And obviously, coming from the outside green onto the main arena, it will take a couple of ends just to settle into it. Different environment completely. You've got the stands either side. Plenty more people in here than there will be watching the early games. So a couple of ends to settle, but holding a couple here off to a good start.
Hadn't actually heard of CY before the beginning of this championship, but I'm reliably informed that he's one of the top players in Hong Kong. In fact, if not considered the top player at the moment. Very, very consistent. Puts a lot of time in, practicing and training.
And that's one thing I noticed, Janice, when I was out in Hong Kong a couple of years ago. The way that the young players over there are trained. It is a training session. You're coached on everything, and it's certainly developing their players really well out there.
Well, like I say, I watched one of his games in particular out on the Bowler's Bar rinks, and he did play very, very well. I think it's possibly just the 2 here.
2 shots, CY1.
It's a good start. Get on the card early, especially when you know that you need to win. Have you noticed if they've changed the bowls at all, Janice, from obviously being on the different carpet out in the arena?
No, I haven't had a chance to find out, and I don't think it says on CY's... it does say Taylor Aces size 4s, so that there's a chance he'll still be playing with those in here then.
Just having a quick look when it came down the green before, I thought it was a Drake's Pride bowl, but maybe when one of them comes to rest we'll have a better look.
Certainly no Moti's practice, put in hours of practice on the Bowler's Bar rinks earlier on in the week, and played with both Drake's Pride XPs out there, but also tried some Henselite Tiger Pros. Well, they were just trying to find what was the best bowl for the rinks, really.
Jack length 28.5 metres.
There we go, Drake's Pride Professionals. Good choice of bowl, good manufacturer. She says, sat here in a Drake's Pride shirt.
some of the scores from the group games, Janice, have been pretty tight affairs, I think. There's,
Yeah, we didn't get to see many of the singles games because we'd already started in the arena here when they were taking place on the Bowlers Bar rinks, so not much chance to see them. I know Charlie Herbert from the USA played really, really well, and I believe he's just missed out now. Gerard Breen's gone above Charlie. It literally is between Gerard and CY.
yeah, he was sitting on 5 points prior to Javed's game, and I think Javed's gone on to 6 points now. All on a pace here to get down. Just needs to run a bit. Big effort here, Janice. An unlucky result.
One green.
Moti was telling me earlier on in the week they play outdoors in Israel to qualify, and their greens are currently running about 9 seconds. The portable rink, although it was very, very quick to begin with, it has settled a little bit. But it certainly is running a lot quicker than 9 seconds. Even the Bowlers Bar rinks here are running at about 14-15 seconds now. Big adjustment for pace. Here we see CY going for a runner. Good to see he's got that in his armoury.
Yeah, good to see him being positive and aggressive in a shot there. Obviously, if he picked the jack up, ran into the ditch, he was going to guarantee himself the shot really there. So, good positive play. Slight adjustment required on this one with the line. The weight was good with the last.
Just underplayed it.
One shot, multi-pilot. Set scored 2-1 after 2 ends.
If you just leaving the arena now, it's going up to show time. We tend to find that also at that time the carpet changes pace-wise.
Jack length 28.5 metres.
And that's one thing, Janice, that these two players probably aren't used to. Being in the arena when people obviously do leave their seats, the temperature does change, the speed of the carpet, the lines will slightly change as well. And with only playing 7 ends, it's important that they drop onto the line and the pace as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because pace does change in the middle of a game sometimes on this arena, as you know yourself, Chris, from playing here in the past. And you'll be going out on the rink on, is it Tuesday morning?
Tuesday morning, yeah. I remember a few years ago playing Robert Paxton in the first game. Had a really convincing win in the first set, and then for me it felt like the temperature changed and the scores were reversed in the second set, so it is easily done. I guess that's the joys of playing sets.
It is. It gives you the chance to get back into the game. And just write off the first set and regroup for the second.
Looking good again. Well played. Great shot. Just underplayed with this one, Janice.
Yeah, we've seen a few of those tonight. Again, inexperience of playing on the portable rink. You just take that little fraction less green and it can be very unforgiving out there. All four fairly swinging hands at the moment.
Three red.
Needs to find a good one here. 3 down.
Yeah, he's just struggling for the pace at the moment. As Richard Bear mentioned before, he's not been particularly well today. Felt under the weather. Determined to come out here onto the rink, have his chance on the portable. Big chance for a count of 4 here from CY.
Yeah, just repeat what he's done with his first 3. Big count this end, puts him in the driving seat for the set. Very smooth action there, Janice.
Yeah, lovely delivery.
On a good line. Runs
Yeah,
it
good
out.
enough.
Yep.
4 shots, CY1. Set score 6-1 after 3 ends.
Well, that certainly puts him in the driving seat in this opening set.
Track length 28 metres.
It's like a
Just
good
needs to
opener.
make the trip, I think.
Yeah, it's just pulled up a touch short, just a metre. Or a yard in old money. Good line again, all on his pace.
Yeah, well played. Slight correction on the first with the pace. Just added that metre, as you said. Didn't like that one. until you know the players when they do things like that.
Yes.
Is it a good one or a bad one?
Yeah, we were saying that in the Darren Burnett game earlier. Sometimes bowls a bowl and body language is not good, and it's a side toucher.
Three red.
Now Moti. Smooth delivery.
Trying to draw again.
It's not quite picked up the pace, the feel for the pace out there.
Just persist with the draw, Janice. Try and get that full house again, because this also could come down to shot difference as well.
Yes, I think at the moment Jarrah's got quite a decent shot difference, but quite a huge shot difference. In fact, he's currently at 31 difference. But like you say, a few fours here, threes or fours. Yes, Jarrah Breen's shot difference is 31. CY Wong's is 7 at the moment. Both on the pluses. Charlie Herbert finished on +5. He's on the same points as Jarrah Breen. They're both on 5 points, but Jarrah's shot difference is better than Charlie Herbert's.
Two conceded here, they're looking for the third.
Umpire being called. So it's quite crucial because the shot difference could matter here.
Two red and a measure.
But as we mentioned before, if CY wins both sets, he can't be caught on points anyway. He's on 4 points. 2 behind him are on 5. So if he gets a 6 points, CY goes through.
Three shots, CY1. Set score 9-1 for 4 ends.
That's already 8 of a difference at the moment. I mentioned they've got to play all 7 ends. So there's 14 ends to be played this evening. We've already played 4 of them.
Track length 28 metres.
Didn't like that. Body language definitely didn't like that.
Just struggling with the pace at the minute. CY certainly settled the better. A lot more consistent.
Very similar delivery to Mark McPeak's in some respects, Chris. Watching his delivery.
Yeah, it is a little bit similar. And Mark, very good player, been here a number of times.
Yeah, played really well in the pairs here. Great game the other day on the portable.
Played him a few times in qualifiers and is a very difficult opponent. Extremely good draw player when required.
One green.
He can certainly play his runners and his drives.
He certainly sets himself on the mat. Similar to Mark. Always quite interesting to look at new players to the rinks delivery.
I was listening to a little bit of the game earlier on when you were talking about copying players' deliveries and things like that. For new people or new players coming through, it's whether they actually do that themselves and figure out a player that they want to copy and learn off that player. It's certainly a good tactic if you're just starting. Pick someone and with a decent delivery and mimic what they are doing.
Yeah, that was a far better delivery from Moti Polak. Really good bowl. Yeah, I just wonder if CY might choose to go a bit quicker here. Just playing it over the draw by the looks of the delivery. Now this has got to be perfect weight for it to get back in, or it'll just hang off.
Very difficult shot. Anything just over the pace or just hang past.
One green and a measure.
One green and a measure, it could be two.
Probably a wise choice, Janice, not to go quick at that though, really. Commanding lead in the set. Don't want to do anything silly, don't want to lose your pace on the draw.
No, very true, and he's still just picking up some of the nuances of the rink out there.
That was unfortunate.
Oh. Yeah, I wonder if it's cut
Might
it down
have
to
fallen
definite
in.
one. Having a look. From our angle, it could even be three. I'm not sure about the red ball. He's signalling three.
Yep.
Yeah. Three. Great ball.
Just thought
Three
with that
shots,
connection he
multi-poly.
got on the front red ball that it was turning that into possibly second.
Set score 9-4 after 5 ends.
9-4. That tightens things up a bit. 2 ends to play.
If you see why now,
That
you
makes
just think just
28
win one
meters.
of these 2 ends.
Yeah, make sure you get the first set in the bag.
Yep, definitely. And that's half the job done. But make sure you keep your concentration for the second set. You start again, 0-0. It's good for the crowd as well, Janice, having 2 overseas players, 2 new players to the venue. When you're out there in the bar mingling with the paying public.
Yep, exactly. That's one of the things that Potters is very good for. You have to talk to the overseas and
Find out what their clubs are like, what their greens are like.
and the passion for the fact that they've actually qualified to get here.
Definitely.
Tough to get through qualifiers wherever you play them in the world. The prize is to play here at the Potters Resort, which is some prize, I tell you. Amazing facilities. They look after us very well here.
At the end of the day, it's the biggest indoor tournament there is, Janice.
It is, and it's been here for 20 years now.
on the pace for this one.
Yeah, good track again.
Just needs to make the journey.
1 green.
And just get back inside the red. Big hook at the end. And sit in.
Great bowl. Alan Thornhill, the marker.
Slightly favour 1 green still, but it's close.
Yeah, he says he favours 1 green still. Good eyesight, our umpires. Very rarely wrong, but at the end of the day, they're only giving their opinion.
Good second shot. Makes it a lot more difficult to get the second in here. Seems a good line.
All on pace. Makes it back.
Just over. Good effort. Gave it a chance.
Certainly settled into this game now. Moti, give himself a chance. Certainly going into the second set.
Slight adjustment on the last, Janice. Try and sit the red ball.
He was very good with his last. Just rest on his own.
Playing something different here.
Yeah, we're going backhand runner. Well, unless he gets a bit of fortune off the short bowl. Well, that makes it a certainty that it's 1 green. We don't get to test Alan Thornhill's eyesight.
He didn't want that green ball onto the
1
jack.
shot, Monty Pelwick.
That could have been a disastrous result.
It was an interesting choice of shot when he was so far in command in the
Set
set.
score 9-5 with the 6 ends.
Yeah, even he ended up dropping the 1. If he'd have drawn, sat his last, if he got the shot, that would have been a set. As it is, still in a commanding position. But a bad connection on that front green onto the jack, could have been 2 or 3 there.
Jack length 26 metres.
So, last end of this first set. CY Wong leads it 9-5.
Just underneath the line, very easily done. And once you're under, it's away. Pace was good. Just overcorrected there.
Yeah, good line. He might have actually promoted that into counting.
is certainly up. It's a friendly game, this one, Janice.
It is, yeah.
One red.
Very sociable. Smile from Moti there. Quite a character. Like I spoke to him early on in the week. It's a good today, but quite a bubbly character.
Well, bit of a chance here, Janice. Free hit, really. Go for the red ball.
Possible.
9-5 down. You need the 4 to tie the set.
And it is possible, so got to go for it. Under the line. Afraid. Weight wasn't bad. Because he had to play at that sort of weight that was going to stay in as well.
One shot, the first set, CY1.
So that's part of his job done. He's won his first set. So that means he now is level on points with Charlie Herbert and Gerard Breen. But Gerard Breen still has the best shots difference. But if CY1 wins this set, he goes clear top of the table.
All to play for then,
28
Janice. He got off to a really good start in that first set. And then
Yeah, and like you say, he needs to just keep that concentration level up, Chris, which sometimes in sets play, when you've won a set, you tend to just relax that little bit.
yeah, and Moti towards the back end of the set started to find his range a little bit better. So it'll be interesting if he does that at the beginning of this set. I'll see why we'll recover. It's a big prize up for grabs.
It is a place in that open first round draw.
That's something to factor in as well. Jared's done his job, sitting there waiting, and you're out there with a chance to go top of the group. It's in your hands, and sometimes that can weigh on your shoulders. It's whether he's been in this position before and how he adapts to it now.
It's almost like you were saying earlier about Hong Kong do put a lot of work into the training of their bowlers as athletes. Is he mentally prepared for this sort of situation?
Just needs a slight correction on his first 2. Somewhere in the middle on pace, he'll be roundabout.
That was a good line. Better for pace too.
Yeah, good correction.
Just asking Alan Thornhill how many thinks
One
it
red
is.
and a measure.
One red and a measure. Probably a measure to the back bowl, I would think, from our camera angle.
Just struggled with the pace, so there is a possibility of a little run. Changed his hand down the forehand. Yep. Attacking.
Seems quite a steady and calm young man. CY.
Just needs to get over the top of his own. Just lacking a couple of feet of pace there.
No change. Still 1 red and a measure.
I think you've made your choice with your third. You've got to go again here, Janice, I think. Ball clean, you might get the back one as well. Jack in the ditch.
Two shots. CY1.
Well, that's the opening end to CY. Great start. In his mission to make the open singles main draw.
Length 27.5 metres.
Yeah, not a bad start.
Good opener. Moti, of course, will want to try and win this set for his positioning in the table. He's on 2 points at the moment. If he got another point, it would take him above the Canadian.
That's a good reply there, Janice, from Moti.
Yeah, definitely settled down from sort of 3 ends into the first set.
Can he just finish? Just needs to run.
Urging it on.
1 green.
Just stop short.
Good start to the end, though.
Yeah, this can just be a repeat delivery, really. Even a little touch on the jack would do Moti the power of good.
Certainly on a high line. Just push through it. Change your hand from CY. Good effort. Now Moti. Can you hang on? The touch has done enough, has it?
2 green.
Yep, 2 to green. CY going to have a look at this now. The other interesting factor, Chris, is if CY was to win this set and go into the main draw proper, he'll have to play under shot clock rules, which again is another aspect of the singles play here in the World Bowls Tour ranking events.
Yeah, that's right, but the way he's played so far today in this game, there's nothing to suggest he wouldn't cope with that. He's certainly not a slow player, so I have no doubts he wouldn't struggle at all with the 30 seconds. He's up and down there quick enough. Had a look, chosen his shot, gone back and played it. Played it well as well.
Very close here. in the area.
What a great
Yeah,
shot.
Great bowl.
One red.
Came to visit, had a look, looked at the angles, decided on the shot he wanted to play, went back, played it to perfection there. Similar shot for Martin now, but on the other hand, down the backhand, turn a jack, lift the red ball away.
Yeah, he's got the bowl just behind the jack as well.
Yeah, there's a couple of chances down there. Similar pace to the last ball, just over the pace, couple of feet. Guarantee that you're going to sit the ball away, pull the jack to the back green ball. It's on that tight line.
Yeah, he's trying to steer it and urge it on. It's not going to work, unfortunately.
Once it starts going, it's gone on there, Janice. It's vicious with the swing.
One shot, CY1.
Set score 3-0 after 2 ends.
Got a good shot there from CY to win the end. Marty was holding a good position there.
Yes, like you say, he took his time. Went up to have a quick look, played the shot perfectly.
Jack length 29
CY
metres.
played in the 2015 Asia Pacific Bowls Championships.
Plays out of a really good club as well there, Janice. Craig and Gower. That was actually our host club when we went out there for the Hong Kong Classic in 2015, Bowls England team. They looked after us really well. Fantastic facility. They couldn't do enough to look after you, and it's a really good setup that they have there.
I'm quite impressed at the second half of the name's Gower. That's not too bad. No, I have heard it's very good out there. I think you and I spoke when you got back from there. You told me how good it was and how well people looked after you.
The facilities are amazing. You think of our clubs here. We have a club, we have a restaurant, we have a bar, but the clubs out there, indoor greens, outdoor greens, squash courts, tennis courts, saunas, spas.
It is really considered a sports facility, really.
Definitely, definitely. And good weather out there as well.
One red.
Now that's something you can't always guarantee over here. There was one morning last week, Chris, where we went outside the venue and it was so misty you could hardly see across the road. But then some mornings you get up to bright blue sky and seafronts here at Potter's Resort. You can walk down, get some nice fresh air.
I'll see why I'll just be looking just over the draw, I think, Janice. Turn the jack round the corner. Face the green ball.
Quite a tight line, needs to reach on this line.
Yeah, just underplayed it.
Shout out to all of those listening in Hong Kong or Israel. Thanks for joining us here on the streaming at World Bowls Tour. It's great to have your company on this Sunday evening. We are currently 20 to 10 GMT time.
Certainly on a wider line here than the last. Big effort.
In the area with this one.
Just lacking the pace. Just a dead length there. Good effort. Now, Matty, what are you going to play here? Just a draw, surely.
Just been informed, Chris, that it's 5:43 in the morning in Hong Kong. And it's 11:45 in Tel Aviv. I was asking earlier on in the week if we could have one of those things on the wall with all the different clocks with different times. 6:43 in Tokyo.
One shot, CY1.
Another shot for CY there.
Set score 4-0 after 3 angles.
Again into a commanding lead in the second set.
I've been challenged by my producer to say this other time that he's given us here, Chris, and I daren't pass the book to you. It's 21:44 in Okudougu.
28.5 metres.
No idea where that is.
Won't even know what country that is, Janice.
Bobsy. I'm just trying to still work out where that country was, Chris. Thinking me Bobsy is the best I can come up with at the moment.
Right, Marty, a slight correction on your weight. See if you can get back with this one. Gonna sit the back red.
Good line again, Chris. He's certainly getting his line
Two
better in this second set. Doesn't want CY to run away with this. 4-0 up. Still 4 ends to play.
Good correction again. Does enough.
Great bolt.
One red.
Not many questions being asked here, Janice, by either player.
No,
Distance of
very
balls
true.
away from the jack, etc.
Yeah, Alan's getting away with it lightly at the moment. He'll be stood there prepared for questions. These markers study what the situation is in the head and anticipate questions very,
Right.
very well.
It's almost like the answer's ready to come out of the mouth before you've asked the question.
Yep, very true.
And again, Motti's just got a really good line and just over the pace, but it's sitting in a good position. Leaves a split here.
Yep, that's definitely sat for the split.
Two red.
Yeah, Chris, you were saying that there is a possibility now for him to play the split. Those 2 bowls will go.
Yeah.
Leave him holding at least 2. Gone quick.
Just pulled it.
Two shot, CY1.
The right shot to play.
It certainly was. It would
0 off the
split the
forehand.
two bowls out. Tried it, didn't quite get it, so CY takes a 6-0 lead after 4 ends in this second set. 3 ends to play. Has he sent this jack off? Oh, just hung on.
Jack move 29 metres.
Great shot from our ditch cam there.
Big end this one.
Yeah, if Moti's going to win or tie this set, it needs to be starting to change things at this end. If CY scores 2, it would mean that the very worst for him is a tied set. Don't forget, if you can't stay with us this evening, all the news and results are on worldbowlstour.tv. Do try and join us tomorrow morning for the first of the Open Singles games. Darren Burnett and Graham McKee kick off the day at 10 o'clock. Then at 2 o'clock we have the 2 pairs semi-finals. Robert Paxton, Jonathan Ross versus Mark Dawes and Jamie Chesney. And then Andy Thompson MBE and Mark Royal versus Greg Harlow and Nick Brett.
3 great games there, Janice.
Yeah, looking forward to the games tomorrow. We've had some great bowls over the last few days. More yet to come.
I think that first singles game could be a cracker. Darren's a great player, and Graham, I know Graham from playing over in Ireland quite a lot. So he's a very steady player.
Yeah, we were saying he's virtually qualified for every event going. He just struggles when he gets to the venue. He won the European Qualifier of the Year last night for his qualification for last season's events. And he's here in the World Singles this season. And yeah, Andy was at the Scottish as well.
1 red.
Right, Matty, can you find one here? Looks a good line. Starts to turn as the weight comes off. Down it comes.
1 green.
It's a good shot.
All he has to do is just rest the green bowl, really.
Just needs to hang on. I think it's just going to bend away. Oh, lifted over the seam there. That might have helped it.
It's close.
Your favourite last ball. 1 red.
Just caught the seam.
Yeah, just gave a little bit of a wiggle on the seam.
Sits his last ball, he gets a shot. Just up, I think. Good effort, the line was good again.
Yeah, he's certainly been finding his line.
Umpire, please.
Yeah, umpire being called.
Measure for shot.
So they're using the measure here, not the calipers, but I'm not going to go into the history of the measure like Mr. Corkill. I'll leave that for him when he arrives.
We can always ask our umpires on the streaming. So I know Dan got asked about measuring this morning in the resorts question and answer session that we went to.
One shot, Motty Pollack.
One of the questions he was asked was whether they turned out
Set
the
score 6-1 off the
winning
final.
bowl when they measured or the losing bowl when they measured. It is of course the winning bowl that the match officials here turn out.
Jack length 28 metres.
CY still got a commanding lead here. Can secure his place in the first round proper by winning this end.
Yes, 2 ends to play. All the ends have got to be played because of the round robin situation, but we knew that if CY won both these sets, he was guaranteed the place in the open singles in the full open draw, where he'll face Mark Dawes on Tuesday evening.
I think we've seen Mark play a couple of times, I think, Janice, haven't we?
Yeah, once or twice. I think he's from a club we know quite well as well, isn't he? I was just noticing that actually, Chris, because you play on Tuesday morning, so we've got Blackpool Newton Hall playing twice on Tuesday, and Blackpool Newton Hall in the commentary box. We've got that one covered. Those viewers that don't understand our little smile there, Chris and I both play for Blackpool Newton Hall, and as does Mark Dawes. That's also the venue for the next World Bowls Tour ranking event in March, the Co-op Funeral Care International Open.
Good second shot from Matty there, side toucher. Similar ball required, just dropping off the red ball, the last of CY's.
He's certainly played some good bowls.
Does he push this one?
I think he's just short. Just going to pull up short.
And CY can't really change with this one, he was very close to the last.
No, and he won't be too worried about dropping one shot. That's enough to do the job for him. In his mission out there this evening, which is to get into the main rounds, get out of the group stages.
Said Janice, we'll think of just another draw here.
Yeah, if you can just trail the jack to his own with that. He's gone more aggressive, Chris. It quite surprises me that. Wasn't necessary at this stage.
One shot, Motty Pollack.
No damage done, just dropping the one.
Yeah, perhaps just a go at practice
Set score 6-2.
Runner.
6 ends.
with confidence that he's not going to mess this up now. The worst for CY would be a tied set.
So last end of the game.
Jack length 26 metres.
Let's see if we can get a cracker of an end. this one out, Motti.
No, we've just had it confirmed from the powers that be, Chris, that the tie in this set would do CY Young. So CY will face Mark Dawes on Tuesday evening. Now this is just an end for a bit of pride for Moti Polak from Israel.
Yeah, he's gone out there, done the job he needed to do. On the balance, the players deserve to win this game. He's got a day now to get his practice in. Change of balls for Tuesday. He'll go from red to green. So he needs to pick a set that is happy and settled to play with. Needs to pass his own. Has done.
2 green.
Which said he's been unwell, Motti, for a day or so.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
never
he's
easy coming
not
out to
been
play
good.
as well.
I know he was trying to get himself desperately better for this game because he knew how much it would matter in the round robin stages. It's good to see that he's been able to come out on the rink, but when you're not feeling well, it doesn't help the cause. To be fair, Chris, he's found his line the last few ends.
He's just struggled with his pace a little bit. Never easy coming from the outside rinks to the main arena. Little time to practice.
This is the last bowl. Might be just a little bit of a trier here, a little bit of a practice shot. Just missing it. Well, thanks for your company tonight. Thanks for your company, Chris, and best luck in the tournament.
Thank you,
2
Janice.
shots, Motti Polak.
And join us again tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock for Darren Burnett and Graham McKee. Thanks for your company today, folks.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's show your appreciation.